Cakra, and today we will make a video podcast about student and smartphone. It's actually a podcast about our smartphone
Yes.
making students less productive. So enjoy, guys. Enjoy.
Welcome to Digital Minds, the podcast where we explore how technology is reshaping education, focus, and human potential. I'm Adit, an educator and tech enthusiast.
And I am Yudhistira, a cognitive science researcher. Today, we are tackling one of the most controversial questions in modern education. Are smartphones making students less productive? This isn't just about screen time. It's about attention spans, mental health, and the future of learning.
We'll break this into 4 acts. First, the distraction dilemma, how phones hijack focus. Second, the productivity paradox, can phones actually help students? Third, the hidden costs, sleep, mental health, and social skills. And fourth, the solutions and the future, what schools, parents, and students can do.
Okay, so let's get to the Act 1, the distraction dilemma. So for the segment 1, the science of interruption. So let's start with interruption science. A University of California, Irvine study found that after a phone notification, it takes 23 minutes to fully regain deep focus. So, Adit, why is this so damaging for students?
Because learning isn't just about time spent, it's about depth of focus. Dr. Cal Newport, author of Deep Work, argues that the modern brain is being rewired for constant task switching, which reduces great attention. Imagine trying to read a textbook while someone taps your shoulder every 5 minutes.
And it's not just notification, dude. Come on. I read a journal of experimental psychology study. Had students take a test with their phone face down on the desk. Yeah, even when their phone unused, their performance dropped 20%, compared to students whose phones were in another room. So their brain subconsciously monitors the phone presence.
Segment 2, the social media trap. Now, let's talk social media. An MIT study found that platforms like TikTok and Instagram use variable reward schedules, like slot machines, to keep users scrolling. How does this affect study habits?
So Dr. Anna Lembke, a Stanford addiction expert, says that dopamine hits different from likes and comments make boring tasks like math homework feel unbearable. University of Pennsylvania experiment had students limit social media to 30 minutes per day, and after 3 weeks, they reported significant reduction in loneliness and depression and better focus.
But here's the kicker. A Pew Research study found 95% of teens use social media daily, with 45% saying they are online most constantly. Is this the new normal?
So let's go to the act 2, which is the productivity paradox. Segment 1, phones as learning tools. Now let's flip the script, okay? Smartphones can boost productivity. A UNESCO report showed that in rural India, students using language apps improve. Yeah, it's actually improved their scores by 50%. I'm not joking. Yeah, it's serious, dude. So, Adi, do you think that where do phones help most?
Three key areas. First, access to information. Google, Khan Academy, and AI tutors like ChatGPT. Second, organization, apps like Notion and Google Calendar. Third, collaboration, group chat for project brainstorming.
Yeah, so a Harvard study even found that medical students is also using apps, but anatomy apps, and they learn faster than those with textbooks. But this is critical only when used intentionally. Passive scrolling doesn't count. Yeah, so they can learn better by focus on learning, not just like scrolling. Yeah.
Segment 2, the self-control problem. Here's the paradox. Phones are powerful tools, but most students don't use them that way. A McMaster University study found that only 20% of students resist checking phones during study session. Yudhishthira, is this a willpower issue or a design issue?
Well, yeah, between willpower issue or design issue, I'd say both. Because Dr. Neil Eyal, author of In This Track Apple, argues that tech companies engineer apps to be addictive, but students can fight back with attention hygiene, like turning off notification or using grayscale mode to make screens less appealing. Yeah.
Let's go to Act 3, the hidden cost. Segment 1, sleep and memory. Beyond focus, phones wreck sleep. A sleep health journal study found that blue light exposure before bed delays melatonin release by 1.5 hours. Yudhishthira, how does this impact learning?
How does the impact? Well, according to Dr. Matthew Walker's research, it shows that sleep is when the brain consolidates memory. Yeah, students who scroll before bed retain 40% less information from that day's lecture. And chronic sleep loss shrinks the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. So yeah, of course the impact is massive. So yeah, that's my answer.
Segment 2, mental health and social skills. Then there's mental health. A Journal of the American Medical Association study linked 3 plus hours per day of social media used to double rates of depression. But Students say phones are their stress relief. Is this a vicious cycle?
Is this a vicious cycle? Well, yeah, absolutely. Phone use reduce face-to-face interaction, which is, buffers against anxiety. UCLA study had students go phone free for 5 days, Lah. And the result? Well, 30% of them get better empathy skills and more meaningful conversation. Yeah.
Act 4. Solution and the future. Segment 1. What schools can do? Some schools ban phones entirely. France did this in 2018, and a London School of Economics study saw test scores rise 6%. But critics say these are unrealistic. Yudhishthira, what's the middle ground?
What's the middle ground? Maybe I think the middle ground is teach digital literacy. Yeah, Did you know that Finland's curriculum includes tech mindfulness lesson? So some teachers use phone parking lot, pouch where students store devices during class, but they allow research-based use when needed.
Segment 2. What students and parents can do. On a personal level, try a phone detox. The University of Copenhagen study found that 1 week without social media increased life satisfaction by 50%. Small changes matter. Turn off notifications. Use Forest app to block distractions and charge phones outside the bedroom.
And parents model good behavior. Common sense media survey found about 78% of teens think their parents are also addicted to phone. So family screen-free dinners can also help.
Final takeaway. Smartphones aren't inherently good or bad. It's about how we use them. They can be lifelines or laces.
So, challenge for our listeners. Well, track your screen time this week. Then, ask this. Is this my serving goals? Share your insight with our Twitter at Digital Minds On. Okay?
Alright guys, and that was our video podcast about smartphone and the student. And
Well, yeah, I think that's all. So, yeah, actually, we make this video because this is a project task from Mem Nisa, Mem Nisa, and so yeah.
don't forget to like and share. And
So yeah, maybe for you guys, if you watch the video, you can give us maybe advice or critics about our video. So yeah,
that's all guys, and thank you.
thank you for
Goodbye.
watching. Don't stop playing and stay with Adit Gaming.
Bye guys.